Good morning. I just released a video on making the low speed grinder wheel, mainly for the lathe. I've had that idea for a long time. I saw that I was looking for sanding belts at one, or grinding belts, I think it was. But yeah, it had to be grinding belts back when I was doing the 2x72 grinder. And I saw that there's a commercially available product that that does exactly the same thing. Well, more or less anyway. It's a higher speed thing, and it works by centrifugal force rather than the spring tension of those fingers at the slow speed. And it looks like it's made from hard rubber, but the lobes on the end of the fingers are much bigger, so that as the thing spins up, it puts force out on the what is that called? The belt. Okay, the belt slips on easily, and then you spin it up and it pushes it out. That's centrifugal. Okay, that's not centripetal. Don't correct me. But like I say, I don't recall where I found it. I'm sure if I was to search, I could find it. But the idea for this was that originally it was going to be the same thing. It was going to be high speed, and then I thought, I have the lathe that turns fairly slow. That'll probably work that way. So the fingers put spring pressure. And my big mistake there, I don't even know why I used it, was to use that particle board core plywood, right? Which I wouldn't do if I were to do it again. But now that it's made and it's working, I'll probably leave it for now, and I'll concentrate my efforts on improving the tool holder, okay? So what else is going on? I got this thing, and a chainsaw, a battery powered chainsaw. I bought this stuff. No one gave it to me. I bought it. It was on special for a good deal, I thought, for this leaf blower and the chainsaw, which is a good size. I'll get it. This chainsaw takes 2 batteries to run this. I haven't actually tried it yet. I just put it together. I have tried this though. I cleaned the shop yesterday. I quickly edited that and I put it on Instagram yesterday, and a lot of people got confused, I think. Like, why am I blowing dust around my shop? They didn't realize that window, it's the only window that opens. Can you see it? You can see a little sliver of it right there. That's the only window that opens. That was open, okay? The door was open. It's the blown out part in the video. You can't really see it, but there's a lot of light down there. It usually means that there's sun coming in. But you can see pretty clearly the fan that's blowing the dust out. I had it up on top of a garbage bucket I've got for the jointer. I even took the filters out of the air cleaner up here and blew those out. I put them up against the fan and blew through them. That was really effective. It really got them clean. It got me thinking about the shop vac filters, making an adapter for that so that you stick the nozzle of it into the thing and it blows the dust out. That'd be cool. So I might do that, little filler projects. It's very similar to what I was, I posted today, which is more or less filler. It was a good idea. I like the project. It has potential, but it was just done real quick. Like I started on Friday morning. No. Thursday morning, and finished it that day, and then mostly edited the video on Friday and then finished it up yesterday morning. Because I'm working on something a little bit bigger. It's for the scrap wood challenge on the Maker's Mob. Neil Paskin already posted his. I'm not sure about the date for mine exactly. Tentatively, I'll say it's June 5th. It's probably going to be then. I've got, more or less this week to finish the project, and then I'll send off the footage to them. And I would say, yeah, June 5th would probably be it. But there's also Jimmy DeResta, Frank Howarth, Samurai Carpenter, Neil Paskin's already done his. Who else is there? I'm forgetting someone. I must be forgetting someone because there's 6. You know, sometimes my mind embarrasses me because, you know, you forget these things. Anyway, we'll move on to the next thing. I had a comment from Scrapwood City. I think his name is Dimitri. Asking if that'll work for the same idea as the thing on there. Would work for a spindle sander. And yes, it would be a little more difficult, I think, because the wheels would have to be smaller. Like, I think that this 2-inch size and up would be the size to go with. I don't think you could really make one smaller because you unless you use plastic as the material. Because the ongoing problem with these, and I've talked about this in a couple other videos, is that this rubber continues to shrink with time. You know, it was a good fit when I first bought it, and then it shrunk, and then I put lacquer thinner. I soaked in lacquer thinner, and that swelled it up again, and that lasted maybe a month, and then it shrunk again. And the final solution is to glue this plywood disc on the top here so it'll crush down more. And that works, but you have to really, really wrench down on that knob to get it tight enough so that it doesn't slip. So, yeah, I might make one of these for this size. And I might actually get some sanding sleeves, some bigger ones. Because this is 2-inch, I'm pretty sure you probably get 2.5, 3-inch. The only thing is, they won't fit on the thing as it is right now. But I could modify that, right? I could make a new top for that or something. I was going to make a spindle sander from scratch. Right, but it's a complex project because I wanted to do it with one motor. I wanted to drive the oscillation from the main motor. So the main motor would be turning like 1700 RPM. You'd have to gear that down, probably with a worm drive or something, to the point where you're getting, you know, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 oscillations per second. Like, you can't have it going too fast, right? Because then it would get unstable because you're throwing mass up and down. If you go slow, it's easy. If you go fast, you know, not so much, because it wants to keep going when it goes up, and it wants to keep going down when it goes down. You know, inertia. The shop is clean. That did a good job. Like, what the blower allowed me to do was get all over the top of things, like even the gantry here gets quite dusty, right? So I blew out both sides of the I-beam that goes across and on top of the tracks, and I blew a lot of the dust out of that. I actually blew, like before I did that, I actually did some blowing the day before that just to try out the thing. And I said, no, I should get a video of this because this will be interesting. Because then I get all kinds of crazy comments about explosions, you know, the amount of dust that's in the air. What comments did I get about the wheels this morning? Oh, the typical, that's not plywood comment. And what else is there? Oh yeah, it's dangerous. The belt could break and catch the chisel. You know what? Life's dangerous, man. Getting out of bed in the morning is dangerous. That's not to say you go out of your way to do risky things. See, I got to say this, right? Because I'm going back to the video where I talked about the virus, right? You know, we've had color television for the past 3 years, all right? But still, everybody sees in black and white. So right about now, you're saying, well, we've had color television for 50 years. See, this is what I'm saying. Stop taking everything so literally. Okay, yes, color television has been around for more than 3 years, but it has been around for 3 years, okay? It's not a point worth arguing or a point worth pointing out. Stop seeing everything in black and white. Yes and no, good and bad, 1 and 0. You're all like machines, okay? You only think in binary. The world doesn't work like that. So yes, there is a risk of the belt breaking and the chisel catching. But the chances of that happening are relatively slim. And the reward from using the thing, usually outweighs the risk of using it. You know, you get up in the morning, well, this is the way the world used to work, okay? You get up in the morning, you go to work. How do you get to work? You have to physically travel there. That's dangerous. Physically traveling from one place to the other is dangerous. You could be killed on your way to work. And then when you get at work, depending on what kind of work you do, you can be killed there as well or badly injured. It's dangerous. Everything that you do in life is dangerous. It's just there's levels and different degrees of dangerous. It's not full-on dangerous up here and completely safe down here, because there's no such thing.
This message must resound throughout the entire interlink. I want this country to realize that we stand on the edge of oblivion. I want every man, woman, and child to understand how close we are to chaos. I want everyone to remember why they need us.